jump on the bandwagon.
I think so too, and that's a big win for Tommy and the group.
Jeremy Lin's a really good player, but I think anybody would admit, even Tommy Amaker, as proud as he is of the effort of his team, that Boston College had to help them out. And clearly Boston College wasn't ready for a fight when they went into that game with Harvard. Here's Bolden posting up, trying to get Cameron Tatum into the post.
Bolden all the way in the lane, up and under, and rejected out of there by Tyler Smith. And the scramble for the ball. Good hustle by both teams. Ira Brown and Tatum on the deck, and it's going to go over to Gonzaga.
Cameron Tatum did a really nice job. Gonzaga ran that 2-3 set to get Bolden inside and post him up in the middle, and Tatum pushed him all the way out of the lane and rooted him out of there because he was open.
They got to think about the shot clock now, and Pargo does miss the shot. Tipped out. Nice job by Heitfeld to give him another chance. Here's Brown for three. Big shot for Ira Brown.
Ira Brown has the distinction of being the oldest player on the floor at 26 years old. Spent 5 years in the minor leagues as a pitcher.
And he just pitched his second three-pointer of the year.
2-3 zone, and Tennessee looking to screen the zone, essentially set a ball screen on the top of that 2-3 zone.
And tap.
You got Negatu leaning into it a little bit too much. You got to have discipline when you set screens, and Negatu's so energetic, just went up there with a little too much energy and picked up the foul.
The crowd has settled just a little bit. I know it's a 10-point game, but they were into it moments ago, and now if the Bulldogs can score on this trip, they're going to take a little bit more out of it. Well, that will help the crowd's cause. Tyler Smith with the steal.
Gonzaga very fortunate there, made a stand. That was a horrible pass by Josh Heitfeld.
Heitfeld for three. Bolden kept it alive. They bring it back out on top to Pargo. Ooh, I don't know about that behind the back dribble. He's got more turnovers than he's got points tonight, I'll tell you that much.
Well, just a couple of bad decisions. First a shot by Heitfeld, and then Pargo needed to pull it back out and run something.
And Woolridge missed a three badly.
It's almost like a bad decision being matched by a bad decision by each team right now.
Exactly. We're under 6 minutes. Heitfeld, there's a good decision. Knocked down the three.
It's a good decision if it goes in.
He's capable of shooting pretty well out there if you give him enough room. And Bruce Pearl didn't like the looks of his Tennessee team right there as the lead has been sliced down to 7. Well, with Arkansas's win last night in Fayetteville over Texas, that should put the Hogs in the rankings. And while a lot of those teams in the SEC may not be ranked, the competitiveness, I think we're going to have good games all year. At least that's what we're looking forward to on Super Tuesday every Tuesday night.
Well, the SEC is still a great league, and it just may not be quite as powerful as we would expect year after year after year. It's set such a high standard with all the Final Four teams and ranked teams, but they're going to have some really good teams come out of this league by the end.
Offensive foul called on Brown, and that stops a 8-0 Gonzaga run. They had things going their way. They got it down to single digits, though, at the 5-minute mark here in Knoxville.
Part of being a really good team, Brad, is knowing when to pull the trigger and knowing when to pull it back out. And both teams are struggling with that right now.
Tatum pulled it from way out here and missed it.
And you take a quick shot, you can't expect there to be any offensive rebounding.
There's a whistle, foul inside. And it's going to be on J.P. Prince. Bruce Pearl, his 4th year, 86 wins, 27 losses, the 6th Baptist coach to 400 victories, and second among active coaches, only to Roy Williams. And really has been a guy that's just sort of ignited not just Knoxville, but he's kind of put a boost in the whole SEC the way he goes about things.
Well, he's done a great job. I mean, he sold this program, and I think a lot of people, myself included, weren't sure that this kind of excitement at Tennessee and this kind of consistency was really possible. And he has proven that it's possible, and he's done it by virtue of his will and his enthusiasm, and obviously great coaching.
Nice drive to the basket by Prince.
A nice job of lifting that 2-3 zone and attacking it.
Bolden looking for a screen from Heitveld.
Tennessee's been sticking man-to-man all game, and this is a guy they always have to stay with.
Man, Stephen Gray, that one was way out there.
He's a player. He may be the most complete player on this Gonzaga team. Stephen Gray has got a lot of ability, but he's got such a laid-back personality. I'm not sure he really realizes just how good he is.
Jay, this is an 11-2 run for Gonzaga right now. It was 31-16 not that long ago.
It's been a quiet run, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's been nothing spectacular about it, but I think Tennessee has participated in this run by making some bad decisions.
Bobby Mays, a triple on the way. Kept alive and tipped up and in. By who else? Cameron Tatum. And he's just matched his career high all in the first half.
Well, Brad, when Tennessee runs good offense, then they've got offensive rebounders there, and they're that much more difficult to deal with. When they take quick shots, they are not giving their offensive rebounders an opportunity to clean up a miss.
Gray almost threw it away.
It's amazing how much more intense their defense is after a score.
Yep, it is. Chisholm pulls off the backside rebound, and then he's fouled. With 3:07 remaining in the half, J.P. Prince kind of got things going, got the excitement going for Tennessee. And then Cameron Tatum. It's almost like Cameron Indoor here tonight at Thompson Bowling. He's got 19.
To see his face in it. But let's take a look at the great job done by Brian Williams here. Brian Williams is right here. Watch on ball reversal how he seals off Josh Heitveld and just gets his rear end into him and seals him off, and that allows J.P. Prince to get all the way to the rim. That is, I know Jimmy has talked about using your backside to post up and clear space, and that's exactly what Brian Williams did there by making that lane available for his teammate J.P. Prince to get all the way to the rack.
That wasn't quite a butt post, Jimmy Joe, but that was a butt screen, so I know you'll be happy about that. Chisholm at the free throw line. You talk about a guy that's improved his free throw shooting from a year ago. I'm telling you, he never shot 60% in the first 2 years. He right now is shooting a little bit over 76% from the line.
He does need to improve his socks, though.
I like the socks.
Those are socks you would never wear.
Yes, I would. Only to a clown show. There they are. Those are beauties.
I'll tell you, you know you've got game when you wear socks like that.
Absolutely.
And he does have game. He has really improved through the course of his career here at Tennessee.
That is appalling as the high dribble by Goodson, and he turns it over.
Just trying to use that little hesitation move, and Goodson is so quick. I think he's a better shooter than he has shown because he's not pulling the trigger as often as he should. He can get by people so easily, but when he hesitated, he just brought that ball to rest, and that is a no-no in the rule book.
Under 3 minutes now. Chisholm double team, forced one up there. Heitveld clears off the miss. Here comes Pargo, who's got only 1 assist and 5 turnovers tonight. He struggled.
A good switch by Tyler Smith off that ball screen. Switching is probably the way to go because they can guard multiple positions 1 through 4.
Here's Jeremy with a teardrop on the baseline. Whistle on the rebound. It's going to go.
Looks like they got Micah Downs.
Yeah.
Boy, Cameron Tatum. And I watched him get 17 against Georgetown. He knocked down 5 of 6 threes. But he's done all that in the first half. He's a player that's a hungry scorer. He's a good athlete that can run the floor. But he has been so confident and such a big boost in this first half. Scored the first 14 points for Tennessee. Without him, I think they would have been lost.
Matched his career high that he had against Chattanooga back in November.
Scotty Hobson has some arc on that shot, doesn't he? He can bring rain with that thing.
Might bring snow tonight to Knoxville. That's what they're predicting, but it really never snows here, does it? Tyler Smith, the scoop, trying to get his own miss, and Heitveld again with a defensive board. A little sloppy right now for Tennessee.
Just a poor decision. Good job by Chisholm not to go for that shot fake by Downs.
Bolden's wide open for a triple. Got it.
They use that screen very effectively. Just step behind the Heidfeld screen at the top of the key. That was really solid by Matt Bolden. He is a good player.
The 15-point lead has been sliced to 6. Chisholm will try to get a couple back, and it rimmed out. And I think a push-off underneath on Tyler Smith.
After Chisholm did such a good job on Micah Downs, you can see Bolden. He's just going to step behind Heidfeld, and Bobby Mays just got a little bit too low. Was watching the ball and got caught right on that screen.